So just game for my little sisters, man. To my daughters and my, shit, everybody, my mothers and my aunts. Just game for y'all and just to help us grow as a people. And especially in our relationships, I want to definitely speak on a couple things that need to be said, especially to these young girls out here. I'm going to try to keep it clean so I can make this good for children as well. But it is going to be some, we're going to be talking about this sets to make this, to put my disclaimer at the beginning. So if you don't want to hear things specifically talking about sets and just sexual relationships or, your children, definitely this is not for them. I am going to try to keep my language in order for sure. But just as a girl growing up, man, just understanding that she's going to be targeted. We do speak about targeting individuals, but you're going to be targeted, and you're not only going to be targeted in a bad way. You're going to be actually targeted by your mate, the person you choose to breed with, and multiply yourself, and bring children into this world, if that is your plan. And if that is your plan, this is the video for you. Now, it is the other side, and I do believe in freedom of choice, and I am not not betraying. I'm not talking about no way of life, trying to demonize no way of life. If you choose to have a free way of life, that's fine. But I want to speak on the consequences of this from a male perspective, just giving my little sisters game out here. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, not only my little sisters, but my mother. Some people was old and they never had nobody to really give them game and really, teach them what's causing them misery and different, things in life and how they're being perceived for real. So if you want to have a traditional kind of lifestyle, and you want to really meet the kind of man that's going to submit to you, and I think this is for you, and definitely not be in certain circumstances and situations where you're taken advantage of. And some of these people, like I said, they're not consciously taking advantage of you, but some of them are. It's really predators out here. Some of them just don't care for you. They of course they gonna put on a show like they care for you when it's serve a purpose. They have an agenda. They agenda is to use your body. They don't care about you. They just want to use your body. And like I said, sometimes this is not consciously being done, but most of the time it is. And we just taught to be this way as men. We taught to just, and that's why I say it's not always consciously. We taught to, just have sex with females and not really take consideration of feelings and things like that. It's okay in certain cultures. But I'm trying to prevent you from getting trains ran on you and things like that, because and I'm speaking from the perspective again as somebody who did do that before. So like, if you out here getting trains ran on you, I want you to fully understand from my perspective. Other men definitely join in and let me know how you feel about, females getting trains ran on them, and be 100% honest, even if, you did it. Like I'm telling y'all, I did it before. But what I am going to tell you is I didn't ever feel comfortable. I lived in a house with like 7 females who was doing that and in that kind of lifestyle. And I never slept with them the whole time I was living there. Only personal encounters. And it was going down. I was literally living in efficiency. So I'm in the room and it was going down. It was definitely doing stuff, but I was focused on hustling. I was a drug dealer back then. And, that was my only focus. But this is why I'm cool with a lot of females that, live that lifestyle. Like, I'm literally friends with them. This is why I'm not knocking that lifestyle. But there is things that come with that lifestyle. And the only reason I didn't regrew a relationship, like I said, it wasn't based necessarily on sex with us. I was around them when I had personal conversations with them about life and just different things that they was going through. Not only that, some of my family had to make those decisions, and they lived that lifestyle. So I'm not never demonizing it. Some people, for me, that's the female hustling version. You know what I'm saying? How I look at it. But yeah, I never really liked on it anyway. First of all, I always, had personal relationships and stuff like that, and definitely stay away from men. But yeah, in certain situations, I did it to try to get my other homies some, you know what I'm saying? And that's why I said sometimes it's unconscious, you know what I'm saying? We doing it because this is the way we taught. We taught that this is okay. Let me get my homies some from this chick. I know she with it. She don't really have no self-values. We not saying this in our head, but we are making these decisions. She gonna be with it. She's not gonna have and be taught enough self-respect to deny having trains ran on her. And just protecting her sexual energy and stuff. Like, she's going to give herself away freely. She don't value herself. So this is going to go over her head. Now, again, to anybody who's just living this lifestyle, I'm not knocking you. I'm just trying to make young females conscious of the decisions that they are making. And when they do this, how they are respected. Now, would you, as a female, like, say you have a child, if you don't have a child now, say you have a boy, a girl, or no, actually, whatever one, how would you feel if you're just a fly on the wall witnessing this happen to your daughter, a train being ran on her? How would you feel? You know what I'm saying? Or your sister, you know what I'm saying? But we just want to shine light on the situation. Yes, a female, you will be pursued. A man, he can tell when you're beat up. Even if he don't have information on that kind of stuff, once you get your body abused, when another man go into you, he can tell that he's going to look at you like a hoe. Like, you are, your body is abused, is been abused. You know what I'm saying? And I'm saying a hoe like a hole in the backyard for for docu-site. Y'all know. But anyway, a garden tool. That's what it's about. You know what I mean? But so he's gonna look at you like he know you've been ran through. A man can tell that. When a man enter you and just even look at you down there, a man can tell that you've been beat up. When a man enter you and you don't have no walls, yes, he can tell you've been ran through. You've been ran through. He can tell that, man. And it's going to really determine a lot about the kind of person that take you serious in life. Every time. So y'all need to really do know that, young females. When you do live that kind of lifestyle, you can't expect men to take you serious. You know what I'm saying? You what we call it is she for the streets. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? And no men respect a woman like this. Point blank period. It just is what it is at the end of the day. Like, now I'm asking the females, would you teach your son to respect a female like this? You know what I'm saying? You would teach him maybe not to disrespect a female like this, and that's what I would teach too. But would you teach him to take a female like this serious in any regard whatsoever? No, you wouldn't. So you need to be mindful of that for yourself and how you're out here living. But I'm Raphael Rashim. This is the True I Speak podcast. We're not done with this conversation. This conversation is definitely needed, and is a lot more advice and tips I want to specifically give the young girls, and especially about the type of man to be pursuing in the first place, because you really shouldn't look for a man for money and stuff like that. You should look for a man for potential and help him build. You know what I'm saying? You should look for certain characteristics, integrity, that's why I said we're gonna have another podcast on it. We're gonna keep these a little short and simple, and we definitely do a little part 2 to this thing here. You know what I'm saying? I'm Raphael Rashim again, and I'm out for sure.